But anyway, the good news is Simon's here with good news.
Yeah, and we're going to start with some positive news on investment here in the United Kingdom. And thanks to the Jefferson Twitter page for this steer, US drinks company MolsonCoors has announced a £25 million investment in its brewery in Burton-upon-Trent. It includes upgrades to its beer and cider packaging facilities and a new canning line for fizzy water. The investment in the new production line follows increased sales of water, which is known in the United States as seltzer. Did you know that?
Yeah, and you got hard seltzer, which is alcoholic.
Well, and this is also something they're looking at. Retail sales in America of $2.7 billion in the 12 months to June last year, and they think they can replicate that here. MolsonCoors say it expects similar growth in Western Europe and wants to be ready for it, and that's why they're putting the money in there.
Oh, I do love a hard seltzer, because they're like basically 0 calories as well. You can and still stay, nice and healthy.
Who needs adverts? Got you. Now, a painting by Pablo Picasso that was stolen 9 years ago during a heist at a Greek gallery has been recovered. Police say a 49-year-old builder has been arrested for the theft of Picasso's Head of a Woman and a second work by the Dutch artist Piet Mondrian. So that's good news. The artworks were stripped from their frames in the early morning raid, which took only 7 minutes to carry out. A third work in pen and ink by the Italian artist Guillermo Caccia from the 16th century was also seized. Police said the suspect told them it had been damaged, so he'd flushed it down the toilet.
Flushed it down the toilet?
Oh. Yeah.
How? What happened to tiny piece? Maybe he used it first.
Oh, really? Let's move on. Now, the US state of Wisconsin is famous for cheese. Did you know that? No.
No, I did not.
And one of its dairies is claiming a new record. This is the Werwiger Star Dairy, has in fact broken a record it already held, wait for it, for the world's longest piece of string cheese. It is 3,832 feet long, and the cheesemakers needed a good slice of the town's more than 1,700 residents to show it off. The cheese was strung from person to person for about 3 blocks and then doubled back the way it came. After about 90 minutes, the record was broken with a nearly 3/4 of a mile long piece of string cheese. The dairy said the record probably equaled about 30,000 individual sticks. You just asked why.
No, I just asked, that ain't cheese. If it can be turned into a string and taken around the block, that ain't cheese, is it?
It is cheese. It is cheese. But
I
still,
why?
why?
A bit of an argument with someone the other day when we were talking about cheddar, and they said, oh, you mean that bright orange American cheese? I was like, you what? Cheddar, bright orange American cheese? Come on, come some cheddar.
Why is it called cheddar?
So I assume it comes from cheddar. Well, they nicked it, didn't they? Probably nicked the name and marketing.
Lawyers are always not far away. Now, as temperatures in parts of Canada soared to more than 26 degrees centigrade, now that's 116 Fahrenheit in old money, a mother bear in British Columbia has found a quick way to cool the family. They then disappeared over the garden fence. Now, I know we ran that a long time, but boy, did we need that.
Yeah, I loved it. I wanted more, frankly.
I know
give
you
me
did.
the bears. Give me, the whole
all
rest
you
of the
said
show.
was, I want one, which is not...
One.
Yeah. Now, if you were in that particular swimming pool, you may not be that thrilled to see that going on, but as I say, I think we all needed that.
Yeah.
Because that's what this slot is all about. Just to put a smile on your face for 45 seconds, which is how long that was. Now, a Scottish teenager has become a dog owner's hero. He jumped in a lake to rescue her floundering pet. This is 17-year-old Connor Telfer, who was heading on holiday to the Mumbles when he stopped at Valley Woods. Is that Penlagar?
Penhlagar?
Yeah. Valley Woods, there, on Monday for a break. Now, Jane Warner, who's from Swansea, she was visiting with her dog Charlie, who was taking a swim in the lake, but when her pet got stranded in reeds and started sinking, well, Connor saw what was going on. He plunged into the water to rescue him, and he was travelling with his girlfriend and his mother. He said he's not a strong swimmer, but he was determined to help out. Off came his socks and shoes, and in he went. We were hoping to speak to him this afternoon. Maybe try him tomorrow, because it's a story that we need.
That's pretty cool to like jump in to save someone's pet.
Yeah, apparently they were both at one point going under, and everybody was shouting, but he was determined to.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well done.
Well done. We're staying with dogs because this is just a quick story. 2 years after her dog disappeared, Aisha Neves was scrolling through pictures of puppies up for adoption. And she wanted to have a dog in the home again for her 2 boys to play with because she'd missed the dog that had disappeared. She said, I happened to be looking through pictures when my phone just froze on this one picture and I just stared. The picture was of a tan pit bull Rottweiler mix and I thought, wait, that can't be him. It was.
No.
It was the very dog.
Amazing. So what do we know if he had run off or been pinched or...
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. The dog
We had to cheer people up.
Yeah.
Too much detail can spoil it. But look.
That's sweet.
Instantly recognised her.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, Aisha Neves. Well, congratulations to her, and how nice to have a story that ends well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, you're going to love this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who says robots can't be fun? Look at this.
칼군무, 초칼군무.
OK, it's an advert, you spotted that, from Hyundai. They've just bought the company which created those dancing Spot and Atlas robots. And they produced the ad to celebrate their acquisition. They collaborated, as you saw there, with the K-pop sensation BTS, showing 7 Spot robots grooving to the band's 2020 song, Ionic, I'm On It. There you are. It's the way I say it.
I do love a bit of a dancing contraption.
They're amazing.
Although
it's down to the programming. They're not watching each other. They're programmed to within an inch of their lives to perform like that. And the whole video, if you get the chance, just go on YouTube. It's fabulous.
Yeah. They do slightly creep me out.
There is a slightly spooky thing about it.
They're sort of spindly and look like they'd chase you down the road if you're...
yeah, whatever. Right, now some good news on the conservation front, because history has been made with news of the first ever birth to captive-born gorillas in the wild. The baby western lowland gorilla was born to mother Mayombe and father Jongo as part of the Aspinall Foundation's groundbreaking gorilla reintroduction project in the Bateki Plateau National Park in Gabon. Now, father Jongo, he was born at the Port Lympton Reserve in Kent and was repatriated to Gabon in 2013. Now, he'd travelled from the UK with his father Jala, who was wild-born, but an orphan who lost his family to poachers and endured mental and physical abuse at the hands of the people who took him. Now, he was rescued by the foundation back in 1986. Mother Mayombe was born at Zoo Parc de Beauville in Saint-Agnan in France and repatriated to Gabon in 2019 through a collaboration between the foundation and a zoo there. Now, 35 years after saving Jongo's father, the Aspinall Foundation is now seeing Jongo's offspring born in freedom. So effectively, things have gone full circle, and it's a huge success, and exactly how those things... Everybody criticises zoos and these things. So what they're doing, we rescue them in the wild, we bring them over here, and now we're reintroducing. That's 3 generations.
Yeah, it's amazing.
To turn full circle.
Yeah.
Just good news.
Brilliant. Very good news. I like a good gorilla.
Now, a world first for a London hospital after it launched the first ever research centre into recurrent head and neck cancer. It's the 8th most common form of cancer in the United Kingdom, with 12,000 cases diagnosed each year. The Royal Marsden NHS Foundation Trust has brought together world-class clinicians to advance research into the disease and now aims to set international standards in improving treatment and care for patients. And I put these stories in because I know you like a bit of medical...
I do. We do great things in this country.
We do.
We are a world leader when it comes to things like medical development, pharmaceuticals. I mean, you know, look at the development of the AstraZeneca vaccine, which will be the vaccine for the world at cost price. I love hearing what our universities and our departments and our companies are doing, because we should be very, very proud.
I was looking at Twitter yesterday, and it's quite interesting. A lot of Australian media commentators have picked up on the response at Wimbledon to Sarah Gilbert and and the standing ovation, and they were saying that's where the UK is streets ahead. In Australia, they feel that they don't value their scientists at all. And the thought of an ovation for a scientist is totally alien to them. But they're thrilled to see that we treat our scientists with respect. I mean, the pandemic obviously has changed.
More ovations for more scientists, I say. They deserve it.
Right. Now, let's just end on a smile. The Sun spotted these pictures on TikTok of a rather special friendship, and let's just play them. If that bird gets any bigger, they'll be reversing that role.
He's ready to go to Ascot, isn't he?
It's not a hat. I know you like your gorillas, but that's...
That was lovely. I thought at first maybe someone was just putting a fluffy chick on their dog going, oh, look, they're friends. But then you saw it, older, and you're like, oh...